What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It's the 26th today. It is Memorial Day in the United States here. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. The 26th, I guess it's really the 25th still in the United States technically, but it will be the 26th soon. It is the day of the 26th. Crypto is recognizing Memorial Day as of right now. We have 21 hours, 50 minutes left in the day. $109.5 thousand is the price right now. We've really had a boring weekend, right? We haven't moved up or moved down too much. I did say we probably wouldn't move up 4% or down more than 4% by the end of this weekend. You know, from Friday's close, and well, here we are to the upside, only 2.4%. So pretty neutral of a weekend, even though we've moved up a little bit over the past couple of days. It's nothing too crazy. Daily RSI does look pretty good. Looks like you're right at this area where you bounced last time, and last time was right here. Whenever you bounced, right? You saw from a low to like the high right there. That was like a 12% move that you had. I would expect this move is similar, but probably a little bit bigger, right? You're probably going to go to about 121K. That's a 13% move from the low there. The reason why I think 121K is going to be where you go is that that's where your fib target is, the 1272. That's the next logical area to go to. The only thing that would make sense other than this zone would be the higher targets at $130,000 to $140,000. I am anticipating over the next 6 days we will be at 130 to 140K, but the very technical next target is 121. Here we are at $110,000 now, essentially. I want to talk to all the bears out there real quick. This one's for you, okay? So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. What do I know? But if you're bearish or at least bullish on Bitcoin, but after it dips below 100K and then comes up, you need to get that out of the head. You need to get that out of your head. Bitcoin's not going below 100K. It's not going lower. We're at the most we would go down to about 105K, but we're not going lower, guys. And at a minimum, right? At the most, you're going down to 104.8 at the most. This is where you'd go. At a minimum, you're going up to 121K. Minimum to the upside, most to the downside. Quit it with the bearishness. If you're sidelined, if you have money on the sidelines, boo-hoo. You didn't get in. You could have gotten in at any of these earlier moments. And I'm not just talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about any cryptos corresponding to this rally that we've had since the beginning of April. Boo-hoo. But get in. Get in before the next leg up. Because what you're sitting out for is nothing in comparison to what's coming. Minimum expectation. Maximum expectation. If we go up or if we go down. I really doubt that we go down, though. I think that we are. If we were to move down, this weekend would have been the weekend to do it. We're not doing it, though. We're just moving sideways. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're expecting to rip into the end of the month, going up to 121,000 or higher. I'm expecting 130 or higher, but we'll see. That's been the call all month. 21 hours, 48 minutes left in the day. Let's see how today goes. So 1 hour time frame here. We're getting a little bit of volume coming in. That's nice to see. Let's look on Coinbase here real quick. Yeah, that volume checks out. Getting overbought on the RSI, nice. We like to see that, yes. Getting overbought is good on the 1 hour. Breaking out of this downtrend, looking good, nice, yes. All good things. At a point where you might expect to find some resistance here, so don't get your feelings hurt if Bitcoin goes down a little bit. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. I would think that you drive a little bit higher. But where you are in the price, it would make sense to find some resistance here. Yeah, so you, instead of rejecting like this or rejecting like this or rejecting and then rejecting more, I would expect you just consolidate. And then you probably will move up, something like that, yeah. So maybe later in the day we'll move up. But today, as of right now, I would anticipate we probably do move down a little bit as of right now, right? When it's 8 o'clock where I'm at, so this is the second hour of the day. So I would expect that by the end or before the end of the day, we would probably come down, back down around 108,000, something like that, maybe 108.5, 108,000, come down, and then probably make our way back up. I do expect today, Monday, the 26th, to close bullish. I do. 4 hour time frame, if we're looking at this here, 4 hour RSI. Do we look at the 1 hour? Yes, the 1 hour is bullish. That's right. 4 hour time frame, but at a point where it could turn around nonetheless. 4 hours looking pretty bullish as well. You are at the 60. This is also an area where you could turn around. So 1 hour is looking like it's at a point that it could turn around. 4 hours looking at it like it's at a point where it could turn around. Maybe we consolidate here for the next couple of hours. We're just messing around in this area. And then the next 4 hours, the next 8 hours, we start to come down a little bit. But I don't expect anything too dramatic. I definitely do not anticipate that we'll go below these lows, right? We're more likely to just kind of find support in that $108,000 to $109,000 area. We're at 109.5K right now. So nothing dramatic. To the downside, find support there. And then by the end of the day, hold on. by the end of the day, I would expect that we're actually at higher prices than we are now, but we'll see. We'll check in on that tomorrow. Daily time frame, daily RSI looking great. The daily RSI is looking phenomenal. We're in this little box, right? With our lows, with our highs, we're in this little box right here. I think we're going to go to the upside of that box, if not even through that. If we see a move that resembles what we saw the last time we bounced off this area, that would take us to our minimum target of 121K. And we have 6 days left in the month. It took us 3 days to make that move last time. 3 days to get to 121K. Maybe another 3 days we'll be at 130K. Who knows? But that's the expectation right now. Daily RSI is looking prime. But just because it's looking prime right now does not mean it has to make moves yet. It can wait till tomorrow. And I think it will wait till tomorrow because it's the weekend still, technically, right? The markets aren't open, so there's not going to be as much volume. But nevertheless, you never know. Sometimes we do get a bullish or bearish. Sometimes we get an exciting Memorial Day weekend. Most of the time it is boring. So my expectation by the end of the day is that Bitcoin closes somewhere around this price, probably a little bit above $110,000. But we are inevitably going to new all-time highs as soon as, I would think, tomorrow, if not the next day. So within the next couple of days, we should be on our way up. And by the end of the month, we're looking for 130 to 140K, 121 at a bare minimum, but likely we will be above that. End of June, going into June, we will progress higher. We will continue to see growth in Bitcoin, and I think that that's observable here on the weekly time frame. The last week that we just had, it closed, let's see, we closed at $109,000, you guys, so we got nice and snug inside the overbought zone here on the weekly time frame. Typically, when we get overbought, especially this cycle, that results in some pretty robust moves that take place afterwards, right? And also, typically, as the cycle goes on, you tend to see stronger moves. So the idea that we just got overbought, which tends to mark greatness for Bitcoin every single step of the way, even here, that was a pretty great move. It was just smaller than this move, which was smaller than this move, which is smaller than this move, which this move will be even bigger than those moves. You know what I mean? It gets bigger each and every step of the way. My expectation would be that this reading gets stronger, that we continue to grow. This is really just a signal that we have only just begun to break out, and we've got a lot more to go. I really do think that with the weekly getting in the overbought zone, we're nowhere near our relative high. We have a lot more to go, and that's going to end at least around, I'm starting to think 180 to 190. I've been saying 170 to 180 for so long, but I really think 180 to 190K might be more appropriate. We'll see. By the end of June. If not by the end of June, early July is the anticipation right now. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I really appreciate you all. Take care. Bye-bye.